All right, hey there, seventh graders. Thanks for watching the second video here with me. I'm going to explain your assignment. So when you were in class on Monday, you got 3 sheets of paper. You got a yellow one that looks like this. It would be a good idea to read the introduction and read the background. I'm going to explain to you how to do this, although there are some written directions here. And you should have a pink sheet and one of the white sheets, okay? So to get started, on the back of the yellow sheet, I want you to note that this is a normal male karyotype. So it's a normal, healthy male karyotype. I know this because everything's here. There's 2 number 1 chromosomes and 2 number 2 and so on. Nothing's missing. There's no extra chromosomes. And again, I know it's a boy because it says XY. Okay. The first thing that I should do is take my white sheet and take a peek at what letter I grabbed or was given in class on Monday, and I'm going to write that I got set E. I should probably write it on my yellow sheet, but it's most important actually that I write it on my pink sheet right here. So that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to explain how to do the assignment, and there's 2 ways you can choose to do it. There's the way for full credit, or there's a way you could do it for half credit. I don't care which one you decide to do. The half credit one will be a lot faster, but not necessarily the best way to do it, but I wanted to provide it as an option for some of you that just don't want to do the full credit way or you don't think you have the time. So here's what you do. To get started, you need some scissors and some tape or glue. All right, so you're going to cut out every single chromosome, which right there, some kids are going to start to moan. You're like, oh my gosh, Miss Wyland, I don't want to do that. And that's where the option 2 for the assignment comes in. But if you're going to do it for full credit, you're going to cut out every one. You don't have to do it super pretty. Just cut it out. It's okay if there's some white paper on the chromosome. Let's say this is the chromosome I cut out first. I'm going to act out what I do next. I'm going to take my chromosome, so let's pretend I'm holding it right here, and I'm going to look at my yellow sheet, and this is like my answer key, and I'm going to try to match it up. So remember, I can look at the length of the chromosome, the banding or striping pattern, and like where the little part kind of pinches in. So let's say I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, I think it's a number 11 chromosome. That's what I have. Then I'm going to take it and tape it or glue it down on my pink sheet at spot 11. Eventually, I'll have 2 11 chromosomes. So I'm going to keep cutting and taping and put everything on my pink sheet. But let's say when I'm all done, I notice that I have an extra 21st chromosome. So what genetic disorder is that? Well, the back of my yellow sheet at the very bottom, here are the 5 choices of what the genetic disorders could be on your paper. So if I think I have an extra 21st chromosome, that's Down syndrome, and I would write that here on my pink sheet, Down syndrome. Okay, so that's how you would accomplish this for full credit, trying to figure out what genetic disorder is on your karyotype. If you don't want to do that, here's another choice. You could go in and instead of cutting everything out, you could just number your chromosomes. Like, oh, that's a number 1. Oh, I think that's a number 1. And you're trying to number your chromosomes just on the white sheet. You don't cut anything out. You can still figure out what your genetic disorder is by doing that, but you would receive 50% credit. The reason why I like to offer this other option but still insist for full credit that you need to do all the cutting is because in prior years students would just tell each other. They'd be like, hey, option E, it's totally this disorder. And without even having to do any thinking, any matching of anything, students will have figured out what their disorder is, and then they don't want to complete the assignment. So it makes it really hard for me as a teacher to know if a student did it authentically without cheating. So the only way for me to do that is to insist that if you want full credit, you have to cut it and tape it down and write down what disorder you think you have. Okay? The 50% credit is totally your choice that you could do that. Some students, when they're doing this choice of like the 50% option, they might figure it out before they're all done numbering. That can even happen when you're cutting. You might get partway done and realize, oh, I've got 3 number 21 chromosomes and I'm not even done taping or gluing and everything, and you might want to be finished. That's fine too, but you'll get 50% credit. So the message is, if you want all the points, you got to do all the work. Okay? That's how this assignment gets done, and that is what is due for you on Friday. 1-2B students, thanks for checking in with me, and I'll see you soon.